guys, so welcome back to another episode of Favorite on Friday. In today's case, we're actually going to be discussing a modern sort of kind of Bonnie and Clyde case. This case happened like maybe 5 years ago. If you're from the Georgia, Florida area, it should definitely like ring a bell, at least I'd hope, considering that they were literally running around in your city. And so I know I just uploaded another serial killer couple case, but that one's like a couple months old. I was supposed to have been uploaded that one. But this one is not as well known, but I feel like it's really interesting. So tell me what you down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. Love you guys. And let's go ahead and get started.
But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, maybe you'll get sick of being the monster out of my head, under my bed. Think you're something out of my nightmares. See me right there. But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, then will you get bored of killing me?
So Mary Craig Barbara Rice was born on November 19th, 1979, at least from what I could find. Not much is actually known about her childhood, but apparently she had a stepfather and she was unfortunately like assaulted by him when she was 11, and by her early teens she was already said to be addicted to drugs and alcohol. When she was 17, she eventually moved out of the house. Mary would actually write letters to inmates in prison, so that when they got out, if they ever got out, then she would basically give them a place to stay.
No ma'am. No ma'am. No ma'am. No ma'am.
And so in 2007, apparently she had a TV and a gun stolen from her. In 2009, as if that wasn't a big enough lesson already, she actually had all her jewelry stolen from her.
What will you learn? What will you learn? That your actions have consequences!
Mary around this time actually had a brother who was said to be in prison, which is how she met Billy, which is the other half of this killer couple. And yet she told him that, once he gets out, he always has a home. Billy actually had a long domestic violence record. Despite knowing this, Mary still decided to date him anyway, despite knowing of his past.
What's not clicking? What's not clicking? There's times when
he was released, he apparently had a side girlfriend, so he was dating Mary was the main chick, and then he had a side chick named Alicia Greer, who apparently was an ex. He goes to beat her up. She stays in a hotel. She calls the police. The police are obviously looking for him at this point. And so a little bit about Alicia. Alicia was born on April 9th, 1986 in Bainesville, Georgia, with a strong passion for drawing. She was said to have worked in an assisted care facility for memory care patients in Pensacola, Florida. Sadly, she left behind a son named William and two daughters named Audrey and Quinlan. So back to Billy and Alicia. Billy usually intimidate the girls, I guess threatened to kill them if they tried to press charges, and so this usually worked. But Alicia was unlike the other girls. She was actually determined to get Billy behind bars, and so Mary was like, if you don't kill her, I will. And so Alicia ends up checking into a hotel with a friend named Jacqueline Jeanette Moore. And so it's January 31st, 2017. It is 2 a.m. Billy somehow finds out the hotel and what room number they're staying in. And so despite knowing that this man is dangerous, she still lets him in anyway.
No ma'am. No ma'am. No ma'am. No ma'am.
Once he is in, he actually kills Alicia and Jacqueline. So now they're both dead.
Yeah, double homicide.
bitch.
I'm sorry.
Mary and Billy run away because obviously, remember Alicia had already filed a domestic abuse claim on Billy, and she just happens to get murdered. Obviously, they're gonna look at Billy as a suspect, and so they run for the Alabama border. Apparently, the police basically have a bolo, which be on the lookout for the red getaway car they had at the time. So at this point, it wasn't really known if Mary was a hostage or she was participating. That wasn't until there was video camera at a random Walmart in Florida, showing that she was actually buying ammunition instead of trying to get help. Because obviously, if you were an actual victim, if you were alone, you would be trying to get help.
Gotcha, bitch!
And so, yeah, they keep on driving until I guess they figured we need to transfer cars. Because remember, there's that bolo out for them. So then they come across 52-year-old Peggy Elaine Phillips Bross. She just came home from an all-night shift on February 3rd because she was working at the hospital. She pulled into the driveway of her home, and then that is when Billy shot her and killed her basically point blank range. And then basically, remember, they needed a new car, so they take her car and leave, I guess, like the rented car at her house. While using Peggy's car, they luckily actually got a flat tire. They ended up camping in the woods to like avoid being found. They ended up stumbling across the home of 28-year-old single mother Kaylee Crocker with her 2-year-old on February 6th. She also had a 6-year-old, but the 6-year-old was said to be at her father's house that night. And so a little bit about Kayla. Kayla Marley Crocker was born on Halloween, 1988, in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. She would move to Pensacola in 2001 before graduating high school in 2006. Like, Billy basically drags her in while Mary ties her up. They shoot Kayla, but she didn't die like right away. She ends up dying the next day in the hospital after her mother found her like the next morning. The police were luckily able to keep track of the couple due to them using credit cards and forensic evidence at the crime scenes.
You're so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
The two eventually leave to go check into a hotel. Mary leaves the hotel room to go get more supplies. A clerk apparently recognizes her because remember, there's basically apparently their faces all over the news at this point. So he recognized her, calls the police. They somehow found out exactly what hotel she stayed at. There's a standoff. It lasts about 3 hours. Mary comes out and surrenders, thinking that Billy's going to surrender too. Billy actually ends up committing suicide by shooting himself. Police rush in, and Mary said that she only did what she did in order to stay alive.
Bullshit. Bullshit.
CCTV cameras were actually proving her wrong. It was also revealed that she was also helping, assisting in getting maps and camping supplies, filling up cars with gas, and actually helping Billy escape the police.
Gotcha, bitch!
Mary's bail would actually be set at $750,000, and obviously she pleaded not guilty. In 2018, she was actually charged first-degree murder for the murder of Kayla. Obviously, with the first-degree murder charge, she ended up getting life without parole. So she is currently serving life without parole, plus the 30 years for an assessment. You learned something new. I definitely did with this case, and I will see you fail females for the next one. Love you. Bye.